Day 69 of lockdown. I've forgotten what air is. Yo, what do you guys think of my new look? Am I taking it seriously? Maybe I shouldn't do the entire video like this.
So a little while ago, back when we first started doing this series, we did this nether portal design, and it's based off of Stranger Things. And when I did that video, I did a bunch of them embedded in a cliff face, but none of them really varied in design, except for this last one, obviously. So I thought we'd take another crack at nether portals, except this time we're going to theme them all around sci-fi. So we're going to break away from the typical nether portal and this previous one that we've made, and we're going to do it within this landscape here. So I'm going to clear out this swamp, flatten it out a little bit, and we're going to start with the basic sci-fi nether portal. So let's see what we can come up with. So after a little bit of tinkering, this is the basic design that I came up with. I'll show you in a little video clip somewhere on the screen now. But basically, when I started doing this, I had no idea what I was going to do for it. Like, I had a concept, but I just didn't know how to bring that concept to life in Minecraft, especially at this small scale. So after tinkering with that style for a little while, I decided to scrap it and start afresh, which is when I decided to come up with this thing. Realistically, all we've got going on here is a square nether portal, and it's kind of encapsulated and surrounded by this sci-fi floating ring. And I do currently have it in daylight, but I'm going to quickly change it to nighttime just so you can see what it looks like now. So literally just by changing it to nighttime, the shaders really help bring it to life more. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm currently using the Seus PTGI E8 shaders, I think, which is why we've kind of got this realistic lighting going on. The world is really dark and shadowy, and then the light is really intense, so it brings out that contrast. As for the design of this one, I didn't really have a final concept to work off of. I just kind of came up with it in my brain. Usually what I tend to do is I'll take reference images off the internet to give me an idea of what I want to do, and then I produce it in here. But for this build, I just kind of tweak some things and see what I could come up with. It actually kind of resembles that ring ship, one of Thanos's ships from Infinity War. So anyway, that was the basic version of the sci-fi nether portal, and so what we're going to do is we're going to change over to the intermediate version, and I have a feeling that a lot of you are going to recognize it. And this is the intermediate level sci-fi nether portal. And I wonder if you guys can guess what it is. Take a guess, take a wild guess. Now from what I can recall, this guy here turned himself into a pickle. And I kid you not, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, as for the actual portal design goes, so when designing this nether portal, I really wanted to try and keep it to what the concept is. So in Rick and Morty, the portal is green, obviously, and I can't pull that off in Minecraft. So I decided to cover it in a mixture of green materials. So we've got some green glass, we've got some lime glass, we've got lime concrete, we've got green concrete, and we've got slime. And so once I got these kind of swirls down, it really starts to pull together, and then it gradually kind of fades into the normal nether portal in the back there. So technically there is a way to enter it, but this is less of a practical design. It's more of a fun little concept to see what I could do with it. We've even got his little portal gun here, which I managed to kind of pull off, adding some buttons and the redstone and stuff on top of it. Yeah, actually getting Rick to look like he does in the show was quite difficult because he's got very thin limbs. I decided to do him kneeling simply because it's more on the same level as the portal. Again, yes, I could have raised the portal up into the sky and have him standing, but it's a bit more of a dynamic pose, so I thought it'd make it a little bit more interesting rather than just have him standing up. But yeah, that's the intermediate level nether portal, sci-fi themed. I hope you're enjoying these other themes, by the way, and if you are, then make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe while you're at it. You might as well. Also, make sure you turn on those notifications because it will keep you up to date when I upload, which means that you'll be the first to see any of these future videos that I produce. But anyway, with this one done, I think it's time to move on to the expert tier. And so for this intermediate build, we based it off of a TV show. And so I thought, for the expert tier, why don't we base it off of a movie? And so strap in, because I'm bringing the party to you. So this thing is pretty big. If you haven't figured it out already, this is Neverdeveer or Neverdelir. I can never pronounce it correctly. Neverdelir, I think. I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me down in the comments. But this is the star that Thor travels to in Infinity War to get Stormbreaker. As you can tell, I obviously like Marvel. And I obviously really like Infinity War, and I've wanted to do this build for a little while now. I didn't know if I was going to incorporate it into one of these basic intermediate expert versions, but I thought, why not? No better time than now. So this is all for decoration. It's similar to the last one that we did. It's all just cosmetic to make it look cool and see what we can come up with. The actual nether portal itself is down here. And so size of the nether portal, it's actually quite small, but I really wanted to incorporate it into this star. So I did play with the idea for a little while of including it in the actual star itself, and that's where the beam is protruding out from. But I thought instead, why not kind of mimic what it does in the film and have the star power the nether portal, where in the film the star melts the metal to make Stormbreaker. Also because I know that a lot of you are going to say it anyway. Yes, I know that these rings are meant to line up flat, so that's when it's activated, but I thought simply for aesthetic reasons, it looks a lot better when it's kind of sprayed out in this pattern. And it's kind of at that point of where they're starting to align anyway. Because imagine if they were just all normal rings on a flat level, it wouldn't look anywhere near as interesting. And so I noticed that in the film, the star is kind of encased in this metal, almost like container. I don't really know, but it kind of unseals and opens up when it gets activated. So I thought I'd make this kind of cage around it and then have the little flares coming out of the star when it's activated. That way it's not just a perfect sphere and it makes it look a little bit more interesting as well, like the star is actually exploding. But yeah, dead happy with how this one turned out, to be honest. It's pretty much just as I envisioned it, and yeah, it looks pretty decent. Also, no, it's not the most practical if you wanted to actually build this, but look, come on, no one's building this in survival. But if you wanted to download this world and play it in survival, then you obviously can do, and you can still technically access it if you had the elytra. You can always fly up into the pool. So if you decide that you do want to play this in survival, or just check it out for yourself in creative, whatever you want to do, then I'll release this world download for free if we can get this video to, in the last video, you guys absolutely crushed it, and we got way over 20k within the first couple of days. So I'm actually going to push the bar out even further and ask for 25,000 likes. If we can do that, then I'll put this world up on my Patreon for free to download. You can check it out for yourself, and yeah, that's just about it, to be honest. Nevertheless, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check me out on all my socials. I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, and I've even got TikTok now. And yes, I know people are going to be like, oh, where'd you get TikTok? Well, I got it because I thought I would make little snippets and shorter versions of my videos. Either way, make sure you go check those out. And you should also check out the Discord as well. I'll leave links to everything down below. But aside from that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.